Statement Begins is a derivative, non-canonical, fan-made project derived from the Magnus archives, an original podcast which is created and distributed by Rusty Quill Limited. Statement Begins is not endorsed by Rusty Quill Limited, and the Magnus archives is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial Share-alike 4.0 international license. For more information about the original source material, visit www.rustyquill.com or use the !links command in our chat box. Statement Begins is not for children and includes inappropriate language and horror themes. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the very first stream of Statement Begins and the very first episode of Tape Reel B. If you're here for our earlier technical difficulties, we're all very sorry. We hope that this works a lot better now. Consider this take two and ignore our mistakes. I am your game master, Noah. My pronouns are his. Statement Begins is an actual play stream that tells the story of two separate but no less connected branches of the Magnus Institute. One across the pond in the Magnus Institute in London. Check them out on Tuesday, April 27th, this Tuesday at 8:30 a.m. PST, 11:30 a.m. EST, and 4:30 p.m. BST. And the other branch is here in the old US of A in Washington, D.C. We are the Usher Foundation. Say hi, Usher Foundation employees.
Hi.
I'll go around very quickly and say our names and pronouns. Again, my name is Noah. My pronouns are he and his.
Hi, I'm Ray, and my pronouns are she, her.
I'm Nick. My pronouns are he, him.
Hi, I'm Emmy, and I use she, her pronouns.
Hi, I'm Rory, and I use he, him, or they, them.
Lovely. Thank you. So for those of you who have been keeping an eye on our social media pages, if you're out on Twitter and TikTok, again, you can use !links command in our chat box, and it'll show up our LinkTree and stuff like that. Otherwise, you probably noticed that our content is mostly in black and white, or it seems very old-fashioned, and that's because both of our parties, both Tape Reel A and Tape Reel B, take place in 1952, the year that the Usher Foundation opened. And as dressed for the occasion, all still dressed up. So we find ourselves in 1952. Specifically, the date is June 19th, 1952. By June 19th, 1952, the Today Show had its first broadcast. The United States ratified the peace treaty with Japan, and at the forefront of innovation in space travel, bombs. But it is not at the forefront of innovation that we see ourselves today. Isn't that right, Edith Monroe? Hey, would you like to introduce your character?
That is, in fact, right. So, hi, I play Edith. She is a medium height, 5'6", woman with short hair, short curly blonde hair. She dresses like in all white, very, very clean. She also goes by she, her pronouns. She is currently living in a small one-bedroom apartment in DC. She very clearly just moved in. So there's only like a bed, a desk with like papers scattered on it. She's got a coffee table in the living room with like pillows around it because she has yet to purchase a couch. But yeah, she's just going through her normal morning routine. She's taken a shower. She has coffee on the stove in her little macchinetta. So just like coffee enough for one. Um, she is currently standing in her bathroom, looking in the mirror and kind of just panicking a little bit before she starts work. This is her first day at a new place, and she's very nervous to get back into the workforce. She's feeling a little scared, but yeah, she's just going through her morning routine, hyping herself up for the day ahead.
Would you also like to tell us your playbook and ratings?
Yes, Edith is a civilian character, and her ratings are cool +1, tough -1, charm +0, sharp +2, and weird +1.
That's right. That's a little bit different to what you're used to. We are using Monster of the Week, which is another type of tabletop role-playing game if you're not familiar with it. And we've modified the Hunter playbooks to the avatars of the fear entities along with a couple civilian roles. So we move on from Edith over to another part of Washington. Nick, would you like to introduce your character for everyone?
Yes, my character's name is Cassius. He is a civilian. The stats for him is cool +1, +1 for tough, +2 for charm, 0 sharp, and -1 weird.
Switch to talk, Nick.
My bad, I forgot. He has long, oh my god, long dark hair. Wears like normal clothes. Usually the hair is tied up in a ponytail or a bun. Wears glasses, and he's 6'2". It's great for him. And he's starting off his morning. He lives in an apartment. He just moved to DC. He doesn't have that much stuff. He just brought along what was at his old apartment, wherever he was before. He likes to move around a lot to escape his family. So he's moved to DC now, and he has started to get up, and he makes breakfast. He showers, feeds his cat, Blackberry, who is just a black cat, and his name is Barry for short. And he doesn't really feel too much about today except tired and preparing for his first day at the job. He's just curious about who he's going to meet and who are the kind of people he's going to work with, since he hasn't met anybody from the foundation itself. So he's curious. I wouldn't say excited, but he's just curious about who he's going to be meeting. So he's moved to DC just to work at this institution as well, to find out secrets about his past and get some answers.
Lovely. So you head off. You're walking, right? Over to Usher.
Yes, I'm walking.
All right. On your way out, you see a little note on your door. Outside of your door. Just says, "Have a good day at work." It says signed, your dad.
He looks at it and just like rips it off the door and just walks away.
So you move on throughout the city. Probably I would say it's like a 20-minute walk. But you're early enough that you might be maybe like a minute or two late if you're walking slow enough, really. If you're walking pretty fast, you're good.
He does have long legs, so...
He does have long legs. He's taking some extreme strides to Usher on time. About a block away from Usher, you see a woman with too many boxes. She's small, she has black hair, and you see that she just misses the curb and trips and falls.
You hate to see it.
We move on to Emmy. Would you like to introduce your character for everybody?
I would love to. I'm playing Dottie. She is an itty bitty little lady. She also uses she, her pronouns. And Dottie is also a scholar. Her stats are, let me pull those up for you. She has a +1 in charm, a -1 in cool, a +2 in sharp, a -1 in tough, and a +2 in weird. So Dottie, she's been in DC for about 2 years now, so she's pretty settled in. And though it's her first day at the Usher Foundation, she'd been working at the Smithsonian Institution for a while. She applied to be a researcher, but ended up getting a role in fundraising and event planning. So she's been doing that for a few years and sneaking into many a research room she should not be in. But recently left due to unfortunate spooky happenstances. But this morning she's getting dressed in a typically loud pattern, which is, in character for her. Excited for the day. Nervous, but excited.
So you make your way out of your apartment. Love your boxes.
So many boxes.
So many boxes. Taking a bus, right? You head on the bus with so
Trying
many
to catch
boxes. You see people are kind of staring at you, but it's not like they're not surprised to see you with so many boxes, considering how colorful you seem to be. They think you are just an eccentric person, and so they don't really ignore you. They also don't really try to make an effort to help you, since you seem to stand out sort of socially. They're kind of like, I don't really want to deal with this person.
Yeah, she kind of gives a little weight to people looking over, but for the most part is just trying to balance all these boxes on her lap so she doesn't take up too much bus space.
The bus takes you off about a block from the Usher Foundation. There's not like a bus stop in front of the Usher Foundation or kind of anywhere closer. And with all of your boxes sort of getting in your way, in your line of sight, it's difficult for you to see. You're so small. You miss the curb and trip, fall, and you see a young man with his hair in a ponytail approach you, very tall.
I'm grabbing all my boxes. I've lost a shoe. I'm kind of scrambling around a little bit.
Cassius walks up, shoe in hand, and he's just like, I think this is yours.
She kind of freezes and grabs the shoe a little bit. Is like, thank you. Sorry for. I mean, I didn't make you touch my shoe, but sorry for having to touch my shoe.
I don't mind. Don't worry. And he starts taking things that have fallen out of the boxes. He just starts taking whatever's closest, starts putting in a box. Can I help you take this anywhere, or?
Oh yeah, sure. It's actually I'm trying to find. I've never been there before. It's my first day. There's a new foundation. It's called the Usher Foundation. So I'm heading there.
That's crazy. I'm heading there too. Yeah, I'm more than happy to carry these boxes to you then.
Awesome. Cool. We could switch things. I mean, I don't want to make you carry everything. So like I could take your stuff. You could take my stuff. It could be like a little switcheroo. Right?
Yeah, that's totally fine. And he hands you his satchel full of basically nothing. He didn't, whatever. Yeah, you can carry this satchel of mine. I'm more than happy to carry these. What is it? 4 boxes?
Oh, 5. Did we lose the 5th? she like, turns around and pulls a little shoebox out of the street, hands it over to you.
And I take all 5 boxes in hand, and I'm just like, all right, let's go.
She swings the satchel over her shoulder. She's like, "This is really light. You travel light."
Yeah, I've been known to do that. It's fine.
So you two meet. You meet one of your coworkers on the way to work, and you continue off to the Usher Foundation, walking together. A 6-foot tall man with 5 boxes and his little friend next to her. You are certainly an outstanding couple in the crowd. We then move on to our last character. Rory, would you like to describe what Luca is doing this morning?
Sure. So Luca, I'm gonna give you my stats real quick here too. So he has +0 to charm, +1 to cool. Sharp is +2, tough -1, weird +1. And he's also a scholar. This morning, Luca has just recently entered the DC area from Brooklyn. I mean, not Brooklyn, Boston. Um, and he is just recently moved into his apartment. He doesn't really have much. So he's taken a shower, he's brushed his teeth, and he's making a cup of coffee, kind of debating where he's going to go try to find some breakfast, considering he hasn't had a chance to shop yet. And yeah, he's just generally starting his morning.
So as you are preparing for the morning, you hear a little knock on your door.
Luca's going to call out, "Who is it?" And if no one answers, he's going to go try to look through the people in his door.
So nobody responds. And through the people, you see a very large man. Like you, through the people, about his like chin down. He's quite tall. He's wearing like a really nice. You see like he has a little pin kind of like on his lapel. What would you like to do?
He's gonna ask yet again, "Who is it?" And he's short, so he's gotta like get on his tiptoes to look through the people. And he's trying to figure out if he recognizes this person.
You don't quite recognize the person, like the actual man, but you do recognize one of your, say, mother's friends when you see them. And you see a delicate hand comes around, pushes him away. You see a woman with, gray hair. She seems like she's in charge. And it's your mother.
Luca's gonna sigh and he's gonna open the door and he's gonna be like, "What are you doing here?"
She gives you a little kiss on the cheek. Says, "It's a mother's job to check on her children."
Thought you were back in Boston still.
Oh, I have business over here. I have business in places. I just wanted to see how you were doing.
Doing just fine. Good. Gotta go. Get on. Gotta go walk to work. Here soon. So, what is it you needed?
Like I said, I just wanted to see how you're preparing for your first day of work. Where is it you're working again?
Some place called the Usher Foundation.
The Usher Foundation. Yes. You met any of your coworkers yet?
Not yet.
Well, Antonio here could drive you if you like.
I think I'll walk.
Well, it was good to see you. A kiss on the cheek. She walks away.
As soon as she's gone, Luca's gonna grab his messenger bag, gonna lock the door, make double sure it's locked, and he can head on his way to work.
You head over to work. As you sort of approach work, you see, sort of like turn the corner, a very tall man holding a lot of boxes, and a much smaller woman sort of walking by his side. It sort of looked like they're going in the direction you're going.
I'm gonna walk up and introduce myself and say, "Hey, you guys headed to the Escher Foundation?"
I think Dottie was probably rambling mid-sentence about possibly like the local birds or something. So she's like mid, like Robin fun fact. And she turns around and she's like, "Oh, you're going there too?"
Yep, I'm headed there. Is it this way?
We think so.
I'm new to the area. I'm not really familiar with DC.
I'm not new to the area. I just don't know where I'm going.
When you walk up, Cat sees all those boxes, and you're like, "Hey, how's it going?" He's like, "Ah!" Because you're so small, too.
Gotta love the short Italian gotta love the short Italian man.
He's like, "Yeah, I've been following Dottie, right?"
Yeah, Dottie and Cassius.
Luca.
Oh, how's it going, Luca? Yeah, you're more than welcome to just follow us.
Perfect. Sounds like the right idea.
So you guys continue walking over. You're not far. Probably like a few buildings down, a block away at that point. And then as you approach, you also see a young blonde woman, like opening the doors to the Usher Foundation.
Hi, this is the building for the Escher Foundation, right?
Yeah, this is the one. It's on the map right here. Yeah.
Perfect. Glad to know we're in the right spot.
Awesome. Are you letting us in? Says from behind the boxes.
Yeah. I open the door and like hold it open for everybody else to go through.
Thank you. Hey, thanks.
Appreciate it.
No problem.
I think
I follow in afterwards.
yeah, as soon as you get in, I think Dottie will turn around. She'll be like, "Hi, I'm Dorothy Keen, but you can call me Dottie or Dot if you want."
Oh, nice to meet you. I'm Edith Monroe. I stick out my hand for a handshake.
Dottie's hands are now very free without all the boxes, so she's just holding the light satchel and gives a big handshake.
Cassius just turns around and he like nods. He's like, "Hey, I'm Cassius. Nice to meet you."
You too, Edith again.
So you guys
Um,
get to the Usher Foundation. It is near the Capitol Hill district. It's sort of like within walking distance from Barracks Row, which is a commercial strip that's sort of like particularly known for having a lot of eateries, restaurants, and things like that. The Usher Foundation is like a stone neo-Renaissance building, but it's like built in a way where like the style is neo-Renaissance, but because everything in like Capitol Hill and Washington DC area is mostly like federal architecture, they just decided to make it out of like a light stone color to try to make it fit in more, but it just doesn't because it has such a different like building style. Something else here. It is 4 stories high. It's between two-story high buildings, so again it's like much taller than a lot, so it still just like sticks out. And the very top floor has stained glass windows with a lot of like mosaics and things like that. Reach to doors, but there's like 2 double doors, and each one says like the Usher Foundation on it. And you all enter the lobby. The first floor is the lobby of the building. It's sort of like a mid-century style, and there is a young man with like mid-length curly hair. He's sort of carrying boxes to the desk, like the secretary desk that's like right in the middle of the lobby. As you approach him, you see he has like a scar over his right eye. He has like a scar on his nose. He also has another one like on his. He has a little bit of stubble. He doesn't like look dirty, but he definitely doesn't look like he's prepared to like work in a professional place. He's like wearing like a chunky over like this like sort of. It's like a white button up, but it's not like iron. So there's like a couple crit. And he just unfriendly, but it's not necessarily because he like looks. He just like has a scowl on his face, and he like puts a box down and he sits at the secretary desk, and he sees you four come in. He just goes, "Welcome to the Usher Foundation. How can I help you?"
Dottie turns to Cassius and goes, "Look, I'm not the only one who brought boxes."
Oh, okay. He turns over to the person at the desk. He's like, we're here to work.
What he said.
Yeah, I was wondering, where are our offices?
Third floor.
Okay, thank
You
you.
don't sound too sure about that. Are you sure?
I don't know. I just got here. I mean, you can go up the stairs and see where they are. I don't think it's going to be hard to find.
I was
All right. Turns his toe over, not be in front of this man.
Edith is starting to regret the choice of applying for this position.
Luca's gonna be like, do you need any help like sorting things out? I don't really know where I'm supposed to go. Somebody said I was helping with artifacts.
I think you're in the basement.
The basement.
Yeah, the through that door, and then there's another door on the right. There's a set of stairs. Get down to the basement. Your boss, he's there. You'll meet him.
Lovely. Bet it's a wonderful work environment.
He's not that bad. Honestly, out of everyone here, he's probably the nicest. You'll be fine. Before you all sort of go off, do whatever the hell you want. Staff meeting, 10:30, I think, probably.
You think?
Are you holding the staff meeting?
No, no, that's not my job.
What is your job? What is your job?
He sort of like tosses things out in a box, and he pulls out a little name tag, places it. I'm the secretary.
I read his name tag.
It says de Dios, and then the A and G accent mark on it. So does it does in the I in Dios.
Luca says sarcastically, this is one of the most friendly secretaries I've ever met.
Could be worse.
Well, thank you, Mr. De Dios. I'm gonna head towards the stairs and look to see if there's a map.
Of like the building.
Yes.
There is sort of like next to the stairs. There's kind of like one of those maps where it's just like this floor, this floor, this floor, this floor. It doesn't give you like a layout of the floors, but it only says floor, second floor, third floor, fourth floor. It doesn't like have labels on it.
Okay, then I'm going to start going up the stairs and stop at each floor, scanning to see which one looks like offices.
You go up to the second floor. And it just looks like it's like kind of like a hallway with some doors. It's really all you can see.
I go peek in a door. The first door on the left.
Okay. It's like it's an empty.
I will check to see if there are any like names on any of the doors, and if there isn't, I'm just gonna take this office because it's the first one I saw.
There's no. Well, there on the one like the end of the hallway, it does like have lettering that says de la Cruz, uh, Usher Institute head. But otherwise, the other ones are empty.
Okay, then she will take her stuff in there and start awkwardly setting up because she's not quite sure she's where she needs to be, but yeah.
Cool. So what are the rest of you doing right now? As Edith sets up her office.
I think Dottie is still at the front desk. And I think she's kind of looking, she's leaning over, she's like inspecting the name tag, and she goes, "Is it Julian or Julian?"
I mean, technically it is Julian. I don't care if people call me Julian.
Cool. You don't care?
No.
Luca mutters
You
something
really
about
know?
under his breath. Well, guy doesn't care about anything, clearly.
Dottie doesn't even know you, and she kicks you on the ankle because you're being rude. She's like, "I just met you 5 minutes ago, and I'm already having to kick you on the ankle." She like looks at you like,
he's like he just nods his head. He's like, yeah, I really don't care.
"Cool. Then I'm Dorothy, but you can also call me Dottie, or Dot, or still Dorothy. And my last name is Keen."
Cassius just looks to him and like, yeah, I'm Cassius. Is there like a name sheet you got on there? Maybe you know where we're going. I mean, I think I know what I'm doing, but you were here first, so you might have some authority. I don't know, man.
I am not sure the secretary has authority.
It's not authority. It's not authority. It's just, you're here to greet people, and we're gonna come in to work and be greeted by you. So I feel like you would know.
I'm just putting boxes away. I'm
Is there someone we can talk to who might know any of this?
You can head down to the basement and talk to your boss. I don't know about the other
So you do know something.
I know artifact storage is in basement, and I know that's where he said he wanted to go.
Perfect. I'll head down the stairs then.
Cool. It's like behind the desk, like just like a wall, and there's a little door into it, and it's like the staff place. On the right side is like a little break room, and on the left side is like the entrance into artifact storage. It's not open to the public, so that's why it's like that. And you head down this spiral staircase, and you get into artifact storage. And it's like set up so like down the staircase is like another wall that across, and you can see so it has like wood paneling on the lower half, and then it's like frosted windows on the top half. And you can kind of see through it. Like you can see that there's things and boxes around on the other side. But then on the side you're on, it's like desks and couches and things like that. And you see that the door's open to the other side, but you don't see like anybody there. You do kind of hear cluttering and things like that going on the other side.
He's gonna look around and see if any of the desks have his name or something on them.
No.
Okay, then he's gonna choose the one farthest from the door and just set his satchel down and figure out and then he's gonna go try to figure out what the noise was in the other room.
You put your bag down, and you head over to the other side. You see, like, when you go in, it is, despite the foundation just opening, it is filled with a ton of different things. Um, the shelves go like all the way to the back of the room. There's like two sort of like sets of shelves, and then there's like one aisle going down the middle. They're like the randomest little trinkets, like things that you wouldn't even think would be down here. From like bags of like bones to like little toys and things like that. Um, it looks kind of like an antique store. If you walked into an antique store and knew that it was definitely haunted, and none of it is stuff you should buy. Um, and sort of along the edges and the walls are like bigger things that don't fit on shelves. So like there's like instruments and there's like paintings. Some things just like in boxes that say "Do not open," and things like that. And sort of like you come in, do you like make a noise, knock on the door, or anything like that?
Luca would probably knock on the door and just like start looking around in between all the aisles to figure out who the heck is in here.
You go down, and in like one middle aisles, you see a short man. He's like bald. He has like these little wire rim glasses. He's wearing like all brown, so he has a light brown shirt, and then he has like darker brown pants. You notice that his pants are way too big on him, so his belt is like done. So like the top part is like kind of like sticking out a little bit. His pants definitely do not fit him, but he just wants to keep wearing. And he's like muttering to himself, like not paying attention at all to you.
Luca's gonna clear his throat and like and see if that gets any response.
He doesn't really look towards you. He's like in the zone.
Okay, then Luca's gonna come over and like gently tap him on the shoulder.
He. Who are you?
Luca Sapienti, I'm supposed to help here in artifact storage.
Oh, yes, yes. Yes. He sort of like he takes all the stuff that he was looking at and just like tosses it on a shelf, and then walks all the way back, to like the front of artifact storage, where the desks are. He's like, yes, just pick a desk. Um, there's lots of boxes we have to organize, lots of things that we have to take out and put places. I've so you have to. We're gonna have to learn the system. I'm gonna have to teach you the system.
Okay, is it by date or
No, it's by story. It we'll get there.
by story?
Yes.
Interesting.
It'll make sense.
Uh-huh. Sure.
Okay. Just pick a desk, whatever desk you want. I don't care. I move around, so I don't have a desk per se. I settle where my things are.
I'm gonna just take the desk. But
Okay. Nice. Um, would you like to do anything else? You're sort of settling your desk.
I think he's gonna like go back in artifact storage and like just kind of wander through and figure out like. So Luca's like skeptical that any of this is important artifacts, and he's just kind of like, this is the craziest stuff I've seen in one place altogether.
Um, cool. So you kind of just like set up your desk. He's already like ran back to what he was doing on the other side and is just like picking up where he left off.
Okay. I think then I'm gonna be like, is there anything you want me to do?
hand you like this painting and is like, put this on that side. That's where that belongs. Next to the 6th shelf on the right side.
Okay, cool. And Luca goes off and takes care of the painting. Again, very confused by this organization system. He's just like, none of this makes sense. He's like muttering under his breath. He's just like, this is the most ridiculous setup I've ever seen.
Um, you put the painting down. He gives you a couple things to in very specific places. But we move on up to Cassius and Dottie, who have not really moved from the lobby yet.
There's so much to see. It's just very exciting, obviously. Um, I'll try to like do a little tap on Julian's desk, like, well, I'm gonna go upstairs now, but it was very nice to meet you, and I hope you have a very good day.
Cassius just follows. Oh no, what does he say?
I'll certainly have a day.
Jesus. Cassius just looks at him and turns around and just follows Dottie with all the boxes.
Cool. So you guys head up the stairs. You see like Edith like on the 2nd floor. You see like her door's open. She's kind of like moving things around a little bit.
Did they tell you where to go, or are we just like claiming offices?
I looked around for name tags. I didn't really see anything, so I just picked one. I guess you could ask the guy down there. It said De La Cruz, I think. I can't remember. Anyway, there's like someone has an office, so should have probably asked.
Well, too late now, and it sounds like we're just grabbing rooms.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
It's a free for all, so let's just pick whatever one.
Well, actually, are you in research too?
Oh, no, I'm in finance.
Oh, cool.
Just financial things.
Cassius looks at Dottie and goes, wait, you're in research too?
You're in research?
He's just like, yeah, that's weird. I'm in research too. Where are we going?
Oh, I have no idea. I was just really excited because I thought maybe I'd be the only one in research because there's only like a few of us here. So chances. What are the chances someone else is going to be in research? But you're you're right here. So that's super exciting.
Cassius he is happy to know, I guess, that he's not alone, but he's also just like, okay, because he can tell that Dottie's very eccentric and just out there, and he's just like, I don't know how I'm gonna vibe with that really, while he's trying to just like learn stuff about his own past, and he's like, I don't know if I want someone around while I like try to do what I'm here to do.
Cool. So you guys sort of, which offices do you want? There's 4 offices, so it's kind of like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then like that back part just seems to belong to the institute head.
So I had taken the first one on the left from the stairs. So
I'll take the one that's on the right.
I will take the other one on the right. So research is on the same side.
You guys settle into your offices. Do you 3 want to describe what your offices look like?
Well, it is our first day, so I don't know if it's gonna look like anything just yet.
Well, as you're like your boss.
Oh, it'll look like something.
Dottie knows what her office is gonna look like.
Oh, I know what my office looks like. Any space that Dottie inhabits for more than 15 minutes becomes like a nest in a way. She loads in her boxes, which are not just like regular office wear, but she also has like a box of like some of her favorite books and things that she wants to put on a bookshelf. So she's setting it up more. Someone would set up a bedroom or a living room than an office, really. And she kind of moves like the furniture, so it creates little like nooks within the space. So instead of having one room, it kind of becomes like three little ones that she can kind of like tuck into different parts to think about different things. And she definitely pulls out some string with the intention of a string wall starting very soon.
My favorite thing is that Cassius just follows Dottie into whatever office she picks because he has her boxes, and just immediately watches her just go into this routine little thing she's doing, and he's just like watching, like all over the room.
I think one of the boxes, she actually probably pulls out like a little plate of cookies, and she's like, I brought a few for the first day, so if you want to take, they don't have any nuts because I didn't know if anyone was allergic, so I just, I put oats in them instead.
He eats one for sure.
Awesome.
Edith's office is very bare at the moment, but she does have like her files that she had. She's already set them and arranged them on her desk. She's got like a few different pens and pencils. And then she also brought like her favorite mug. So it's like just like a light blue mug with like a little chip in it. And she like just like positions that on her desk.
Cassius takes the cookie and leaves Dottie's office and heads into his. He gets the satchel back and he puts it down on the desk, and I guess he just pulls out a picture of Blackberry and puts it on his desk, and he's like, yep, this is a good space. It's all he needs, you know?
Are you telling me the satchel was empty except for a picture of your cat?
Mostly, there's a picture of Blackberry, picture of another picture of Blackberry, just in case, in a wallet, and maybe a few documents, a pen.
Like a picture of my cat and my birth certificate. It's like these are of equal importance.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Cassius knows what's up.
He's planned accordingly to work at Usher. So as you three are settling down, Luca, do you want to describe your desk, I guess?
Yeah, Luca like just randomly pulls out like he basically only really has his wallet and like a singular picture of his entire family, which he puts on his desk, and he's just kind of vibing. And unfortunately, when he gets to the bottom of his bag, he like picks up this little spider brooch, but very similar to the one he saw earlier, and then he just throws it back in his bag.
Um, so Luca is not in the office spaces, so you actually never asked for your boss's name technically, but he's sort of like just asking you to sort of put things like where they were, same thing as he was doing before, basically until like 10:30. This is what you're doing. Things on shelves. Um, you three though do have a little bit of time before the supposed staff meeting at 10:30. If Julian gave you the right time, you don't even know. What would you like to do for a little bit?
Cassius definitely wants to look around. So he's gonna go onto Edith's office and just knock on the door and be like, how's it going in here?
It's going. It's a strange place.
That's true. Kind of don't want to go downstairs because that guy is down there and he doesn't seem like a great person to be around at the moment.
He was so pleasant. Really ready to get out and work, you know?
I don't think I've met anyone more pleasant than that man ever in my life.
I think I'd have to agree.
Cool. Do you know anything else about this building? Like, I don't know what's upstairs, or maybe.
Not really. I just applied because there was a financial position open. I haven't really looked too much into what the business does, which, yeah. So, did you want to go check or?
I mean, yeah, it doesn't looks to his wrist and sees that it's not 10:30 yet, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm down to go look."
Great. Edith will follow him out of her office to look around as well.
He goes to Dottie's office and he's just like knocks again. He's like, "Hey, we're gonna go upstairs if you want to check something out."
Dottie kind of pokes her head out. She's made alarmingly fast progress with setting up her space. It's like it's already looks like she's lived in it for 2 months. She kind of sticks her head out. She's like, upstairs? Cool.
Cassie's just like, ah! Doesn't even see. He's like, yeah, upstairs.
Sorry, did I spook you? I can move slower if that's easier.
You're just so small that you're out of my eyesight, and it startles me when that happens. It's fine. Don't change anything about yourself. You're good. It's fine. I will adjust.
Cool. Let's go upstairs.
Absolutely.
So you three head off upstairs, and the third floor is just like a room. It's kind of organized like the opposite way of the artifact storage up the stairs, because they're like the stairs to them are on separate sides of the building. Has like a wall with like the bottom paneling is wood and the top paneling is windows, and then it has like a door with that sort of like textured glass on it, and there's like couches and stuff. There's no desks, but on the other side you see with a ton of files basically.
What do you think they do here?
Cassius just walks up to the nearest shelf and pulls a random book off the shelf or filer, what have you, and starts just reading it. And he's like, I don't know, I guess this is where they store all the documents.
Are you like
Edith will go up and read over his shoulder.
Are you actually like reading what's in the file?
Yeah, I don't think you can look over my shoulder. Just kidding.
Yeah,
Accurate. Well, let's see. Your shoulders aren't your full height, and she's at 5'8" with heels. So just like attempting to peek over, gives up and like kind of scoots around to the side.
And yes, I'm actually reading
it. You read a story about like something that some person told about their brother and their present that they got.
That's spooky.
I mean, that's the whole point, right? Like, you guys know this place is spooky, right?
I mean, I know not too much about this place, but I do know that it holds spooky things. So looks at the thing and he's like, yeah, this one doesn't seem that spooky though. I mean, it's just a weird present. I get those all the time. So Blackberry brings me dead birds a lot.
Who?
Oh, Blackberry's my cat. I call him Barry for short.
Cool.
He is quite
Do you-
positively the coolest.
I know, I love this. This very, very tall man. He's just so chill. Just like, Barry does this sometimes. Classic Barry.
As you're kind of looking over your shoulder, you hear a very tired voice go, so you've made it to the archives.
Are you, following us?
Cassius turns around and sees whoever he sees.
It's Julian.
Jesus. He turns around and just like, yeah, no help from you, but it's fine, we managed.
You're right. I didn't need. So, good on you. I'm going to the library. He walks up the stairs.
So I guess the next floor is the library?
I don't know if that man knows where he even is. I'm gonna tell you right now. I don't know if that's up there. I don't know. I don't think he knows anything.
I mean, he offered some information this time, so.
That the library is upstairs? Because I don't.
It's a piece of information.
I think that's the first piece of information he's given us.
I mean, it's worth checking. If we go upstairs and the library isn't there, what are we going to do? Just, be like, you told us the wrong place, mister. Are we going to do that?
I'm gonna call him a liar right to his face.
Honestly, if the library is not up there, I just think we have to assume that this man does not, in fact, work at the Usher Foundation.
We will have
the doors were open. Actually, did we need a key to get in here, or were the doors just open?
I mean, I didn't have a key, so they were open.
So, he could just be a guy. Wait, no, he had a name tag. Wait, unless he brought his own.
I mean, we did see him pull the name tag out of a box.
He could have brought the
Plus,
box.
he keeps it in a box and brings it with him. And
it's the first day. You gotta cut everyone a little bit of slack.
I'm just saying it's something we need to think about. Is maybe this man carries his own name tag with him, and this is his whole gig. Is he goes to different places? Could we be hazing? Are we being hazed?
As this conversation is going on, I would just the name tag did say in small print, Usher Foundation Secretary.
We did not see that. We did not
You just
perceive
completely
that.
miss it.
That's a really small print.
That man is a liar. I do not trust him.
Well, I think it's at least worth it to go check. She starts heading towards the doors to try to visit the perhaps library.
Yeah, so you exit out the doors of the archives and head up the stairs. And it is indeed a library. There are sort of desks on the side of the stairs, or tables. They're not really desks. It is not maybe interesting of a library as you would think for something that's an academic building. It is kind of colorful. The floor has it's red maroonish, like a dark red carpeting. You see that there are pentagrams like embroidered down the middle aisle. The wood is like really beautiful, dark brown mahogany. And the books are very, like, they're very vintage, classic books. They all look very pretty. They're all kind of like colorful, like, like when people like to make like leather bags, but they like to use like colorful leather, like greens and like maybe like brighter toned yellow, not yellows, browns, some blue. So it is like pretty, but it's not like dark academia pretty per se. Um, and you see at the other end where the sort of like librarians counters are four people chatting with each other. One of them is Julian.
4.
Am I here alone, or did the other two come with me?
We came with you, I'm assuming.
Should we go introduce ourselves?
Cassius just takes the lead and he's like walking. He's like, "Hey, how's it going? It's our first day, so I'm Cassius."
I would like to note, as Edith is following, she very much tries to stay outside of the pentagrams and kind of just like side eyes them as she walks by.
I would like to note that Dottie is trotting behind Edith and is going, what if all 4 of them don't work here? What if we let 4 people in here and now we have to figure out how to get them out? Have we considered that?
Edith hears this, but does not register as she is staring at the pentagrams.
That's fair.
That's literally like our first task of the day. It's like, get rid of these 4 people.
That's it. That's the.
You approach them. You notice that they're all speaking to each other in French.
What if Dottie's parents is French Canadian? She might speak French. Though Quebecois.
Yeah, your French is not going to be.
It is like French, like from France. I don't know how different it is. I don't think it's that different. But if you have a
Mostly pronunciation.
This applies to all of you. If any of you have a reason to speak a language conversationally, you can tell me your background, and I'll tell you if it's enough. Are you trying to listen to their conversation?
I'm absolutely trying to listen to their conversation.
So how well would you speak French?
I think the kind of knowing a language that when you hear like only a family member speak it, so it's probably like she knows what a word means, but if she looked at it on a page, it would be spelled completely different than like the pronunciation. So she'd be like, what the fuck does that mean? And then it's like, oh, you mean that? Totally. So I think enough to generally understand, though she'd definitely miss a few words, and certain dialect would be different depending on the region.
You sort of get, they're talking quite fast, and they're talking in more of like a hush tone. You kind of get bits and pieces that they're talking about the foundation, and they're talking about like the books and the artifacts, and you hear them kind of mention like safety, but you don't really like get any context for it. You don't know if they mean like protecting the book or like protecting a person. You just sort of hear them kind of like say like keep them safe.
Cool. She's not going to do anything with that. Just good to know.
So, like, just to clarify, every single one of them all speak French.
They all speak
and are choosing to speak French instead of English in the.
Yes.
Cool.
All 4.
Good to know.
French, including Julian. He's also speaking like conversationally French. So you approach them. the way that they're talking with each other, it seems like, and speaking with each other in French, you can probably gauge, like, without a roll, thing that they know each other. You can't really tell how long. It just seems like they're kind of just like chatting, but they do know each other. Um, and as Cassius comes up and says, "Hi, my name is Cassius," or is that what you said? I don't remember.
Yeah, I was like, hey, my name is Cassius. It's our first day. Something like that.
They don't like immediately stop talking because I think they don't really know what language you guys speak. But it does seem like they interrupted their own conversation to make sure that you don't listen. If you do by chance speak French, um, and a young, you see that there's two very tall men there. One has like sort of his hair's coiffed back, kind of like peppered. He has like a really neatly trimmed beard. He's a little bit taller than Cassius, just like an inch or two. And then next to him, like this like even taller, like very broad, very large, sort of. He has like brown, kind of ginger auburn hair, and like a nice thick beard. You see that he has like a little bit, like a faint scar on his face. You see like he talks a lot with his. So you see that he actually has a couple scars on his hands. Like on one hand, it's kind of like going this way, like through his fingers, and on the other one, it kind of like goes like to his fingers and then down his shirt. Um, he's wearing like this little turtleneck, and he has like these small little like rimmed glasses that just don't fit his body type at all. Um, both you see that the other one with like the black peppered hair, he whispers something to Sophia and then kind of gives you three like a really charming smile to kind of like acknowledge your presence, but he walks away with the ginger, and Julian also walks away with them, but he acknowledges that you guys are there. um, so this young petite woman approaches you three. She has like this long, dark black hair. She has it in like a beehive do, which was pretty typical of the 50s. She has like thick eyebrows. Um, you notice that she has these like very vibrant hazel brown eyes. Um, and her, actually, never mind. She is wearing like a colorful outfit. Um, and she gives you three smile. Um, and you notice when she speaks to you, she has like a little bit of an accent. Just gauge is like Italian, but it maybe like faded a little bit that she hasn't been in Italy for a long time. Um, and she says, "How may I help you?"
What is her height compared to Dottie?
She's like average. She's like 5'6", 5'7".
Hi, we were just looking around. I'm Edith Monroe. She puts out her hand once again. We had just put stuff in some offices downstairs. We were wondering, we just kind of picked them out? Is that what we were supposed to do?
That's fine. Don't worry about it at all. That is totally fine. Nobody cares. She heads like down the hall, kind of like walking in a way that kind of suggests that she means for you guys to follow her, but she doesn't like do any gestures of you guys following her.
Uh, yeah, Cassie's just looking around. He's like, okay.
I like immediately follow.
Did she mention her name when I said mine? Okay.
No. She exits like down towards stairs, and she keeps going down the stairs back to like the office buildings, the office floor. She takes like a peek in all your offices, and then she turns back and she's like, "You're all good. That's perfectly fine."
Thank you. And I'm sorry, I think I missed your name. What was it?
I am Sofia De Lauro. I am Merlot's assistant.
So you work here?
Yes, I'm. That's my office just behind that door. There's. It says his name. It should really say mine, but it's down there if you ever need me.
How old is she?
She is like in late 20s.
Cool, cool, cool. Cool, 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 cool.
What does she do again?
She's Merlot's assistant.
Cool. I'm gonna be like, I'm Dottie. It's that one's mine. I'll kind of point to my office. I'll be like, I'm a researcher here. I mean, I assume you probably know who we are. If you're the boss's assistant, you probably know us. Is that fair?
She was holding kind of like a clipboard with some files on it. She puts them up and she was like, "I do. I have your files right here."
Cassius is just like, oh, thank God, someone who knows what they're doing.
Um, she she's just gonna like ask like, "Do you guys need help with anything?" Or-
Now that you mention it, just a general information of what we're doing, where we're going. I mean, I know there's going to be a staff meeting. Is it just going to be covered there, or?
Um, it sort of depends. Um, you two, I'm sure somebody will come in, and if they say they want to take down the state, that's where you two come in. Um, I'm sure Merlot will tell you what you need to do. I know that Merlot has a little job for you. He'll definitely be meeting with you later. Otherwise, you can just sit tight until 10:30. You'll meet everybody there.
Cassius looks at his wrist and reads the time.
It's like about 5 minutes to 10:30.
And where are we meeting for the meeting? Up in the library, in the lobby, on the couches, over the PA system.
The basement. That's also an option.
In the lobby. You are
Awesome.
welcome to go to the basement if you like. You are all welcome to travel wherever you want in the building. You all work here.
Are we getting name tags or anything official like that?
She like runs with her little heels on. She like runs as fast as she can into her office, and she comes out with a box, and goes to Edith's office and puts down the box. And you see, it's like a box filled with supplies to like put those stickers, like those golden sort of like stickers on people's. Because you guys have like those like textured windows, like very 50s. She just sort of leaves the box. It's like, you're welcome to put whatever name you like on your door. I have to finish up stuff, but if you need me, I'll be just down the hall. She goes back into her office.
Thank you.
Thanks.
She said whatever name. We could put.
I noticed. I look in the box. Do the name tags have like our names on them, or?
It's like just like individual sticker letters. So put it yourself. And there's like a little
Got it.
little flattening thing to like stick it on there and stuff.
What do the other doors say? Last names or first names for the other the two who work here?
It says like Merlot de la Cruz, and it says like Usher Institute Head on the bottom.
I get out the stickers and like hand a few to them, and start putting just Edith on my door.
I feel like these people don't even know our names. I don't think putting my name down is going to do anything.
Well, if you put your name down, they're more likely to learn it.
It's also
Also,
just
I think I might have missed your name. Edith?
Who, me? Because I told you on the way to the
Yes.
door. I was like, hey, my name's Cassius.
It was a while ago. Cassius, got it, sorry.
Fine, it's fine. I'm just joking.
I'm just bad with names.
which is why we need the stickers.
You know, I was going to put some kind of joke on my door, but seeing as you need help with names, I'll just put my first name.
I'm sorry. Today's a lot. We've met a lot of people, learned a lot of names, and forgotten most of them.
That's fair. That's totally fair. I'm more than happy to accommodate your struggles.
I appreciate it.
Dottie takes a bunch of stickers, and she puts her name as Dottie Keene on the door, and she also puts research assistant underneath it. She's very proud of that.
Edith looks over and sees what she put, and then puts Monroe, financial manager, underneath.
Cassius just sees what Dottie put, and it says Cassius, and then it just what's the word? Like, refer to other door to the left. Like, just refer to that door.
You just use like all their stickers to do that. There's like no more stickers after that.
It's amazing.
I love that.
Afterwards, I'm assuming it took around 5-ish minutes at least, so I head down.
Done. It's basically like 10:30. You head down. Back in artifact storage down in the basement, sort of like 10-ish, you see that you're kind of like Zaim like goes and like gets like a little glass of water. He seems to be like sitting down to like take a break. I guess you don't know his name yet, but your boss kind of like sits down and takes a break.
I'm like, I don't think we've been formally introduced. I'm Lucas Pienzi. Who are you?
I am Zaim Khalid. I am the of artifact storage at the Usher Foundation, specifically.
Pleasure to meet you, sir.
He doesn't even like. He just like grabs your hand and shakes it, because he's not really like he's just like not really sure what to do, and then he kind of like holds his cup like this and kind of like drinks it with both hands, and he's just kind of like staring off.
Do you know when that employee meeting is supposed to happen?
He glass. He's like 10:30. He like opens one of the drawers and it's just like a ton of sticky notes, or like pieces of paper with notes. Yeah, because I don't know if those were invented, but it's like a ton of papers with notes, and he pulls one out. He like digs. He just like perfectly pulls it out. Like he knows exactly where every note is in the drawer, and it says Usher staff meeting 10:30.
Glad to have a official time that we're supposed to meet.
Yes. Julian's not very helpful.
That's one word for it.
He's nice though. I mean, when you get to, I mean, he's not nice at first, but he was nice. Eventually, he gets nice. You'll get there. It takes a bit of time.
Ah,
So, why Usher? Why are you working here? Not many people apply to work here.
just trying to get away from the hometown,
Where's that?
Boston.
Here in Boston.
North side of Boston.
I know nothing about Boston. That's meaningless to me. How are you settling in? How do you like the artifacts?
None of it seems to be actual artifacts. as I would classify them. Guess
How would you classify them?
foundation, well, as an archaeologist, I would say that you would have historically important artifacts, not random knickknacks.
Well, do you know what we do at Usher?
Something about the supernatural.
We research the esoteric and paranormal, as Merlot likes to always put it. We don't get usual artifacts.
And you're saying that they're cursed or something.
I don't think they're cursed. I mean, what is a curse, really? Lots of things could be cursed, I suppose. One time I had this penny, but everywhere I put it, I dropped it. That could be a curse. It always fell out of my pocket.
Maybe you just had a hole in your pocket.
I did have a
That's
hole in my pocket.
going to be
Now
my
that I'm looking back,
explanation.
it was the pants. The pants had a curse.
Pants had a curse. You
Well, they had a
couldn't
hole.
just.
That could be a curse. They were cursed. I always dropped my pennies.
Luca just sort of rolls his eyes and continues to listen to whatever Zaim is trying to say.
The point is not the pennies. The point is that they're not cursed. They're just interesting. They have stories behind them, and maybe if you look hard enough, then something might happen to them. Nothing really happens, usually.
Yeah, no, I don't think anything has happened or will happen, period.
That's a good outlook to have.
That's not scary at all.
What? Why would it be scary?
Just, you're implying that something bad is going to happen.
Something bad could happen.
I mean, you're right. It's just, okay. How much longer until the meeting?
10 minutes.
Perfect. Is there anything else you need me to sort out?
No. Why, you don't like
No, it's fine to talk to you. It's just, I don't think we're actually making any progress in this conversation.
what do you consider progress?
I just feel like we're going in circles.
Would you prefer to go in a square?
Luca laughs at that for sure.
He doesn't really quite understand why you're laughing. I mean it as a joke. But he like smiles nonetheless. He seems to be a little bit proud that he made you laugh. Um, he says, coffee?
Love a cup of coffee.
Good. And he runs up the stairs.
Luca's just standing there behind, like, what was I supposed to follow?
You
He
see
just
that
stands there
he, like,
awkwardly.
so like a spiral staircase, he kind of like clicks on and then like rolls around, and he's like,
If
come.
Luca's gonna follow him, he's like, this is the weirdest job I've ever had. He doesn't say this aloud, but he's just like, he's thinking this is such a weird job.
Um, he keeps on like scurrying up the stairs. He crosses like the sort of like staff hallway of like back room into the break room, and there's like already some coffee there. There's a couple mugs and things that people had like brought in already. And he pours you a cup of coffee. He puts it again with both of his little hands. He like gives it to you, and he's like, Killian, if you ever need coffee, ask Killian. He'll always make coffee. Always perfect. Drink the coffee.
Appreciate the advice. Killian?
Yes. The library. He is the head of librarian. The head librarian.
Okay then. I'll make sure to ask him. Where is the library?
Top floor, very last one.
I mean, why would you put? Never mind.
He pours himself a cup of coffee, and then he kind of just also just like sits there and stares like he did before, for a little bit. And then after a few minutes of silence, it's like 10:30. You can hear like people chatting on the other side, in the lobby.
All right. I think Luca has drank the coffee and now heading out to the other room.
It is genuine coffee you've ever had.
You know what? I'll have to ask him for his recipe or how he does it or figure out what coffee maker he's using. Luca's very like he's thinking heavily on how he can improve his own coffee.
Are you saying this out loud? Like you
No, no, no.
literally get like
He's just like mumbling it to himself.
um cool. So you all kind of gather in the lobby, um semi around kind of like the desk, like Julian's desk. He's sitting at his desk. He's not really paying attention to what's going on. He's like at his desk writing things, going through like files and stuff like that. And you see the same. Well, you three see the same four people that you saw in the library. This is Luca's first time meeting them. And this is your first time meeting Luca's boss, too. So
Luca's gonna go.
Oh, go ahead. You're good.
Luca's gonna try to introduce himself. Just like to kind of network, I guess.
They all kind of like shake your hand. You see that they're kind of like preparing for something. Like they have like a little speech prepared, or Merlot has a little speech prepared, so he's like doesn't want to like give his speech away, so he just like shakes your hand, gives you a little smile. You see the all five of them immediately kind of talk to each other. They all speak in French. Um, and this time it just seems like chatter. Like they're not really like it just seems like small talk. Um, they're smiling, they're laughing, they're just kind of chatting.
Luca
Um,
understands some words, but they're just only because they're just slightly similar to things he knows in Italian, but not picking up much most of it.
yeah. So you kind of you hear them talk about you. Zaim did like mention your name, but you don't really know about you. He just sort of said like Luca and then started speaking in French again. um,
Does Dottie hear what is said about Luca?
yeah, you kind of just like he just seems to be like talking about like he seems nice, and that like he's not necessarily that seems like he's gonna enjoy working here, but that Zaim to enjoy working with Luca. Um,
I will hold this information in my heart.
yeah, so now you all see all four of them. You probably see them a little bit better than you did before, because they seemed like they were in a bit of a rush before. Um, again, they're kind of like ordered, so they like move out in their own little line to like talk about themselves and things like that. In the middle is um, Merlot, who again is like a very tall man. He's probably like 6'4" if Cassius is 6'2". Um, he
Oh man.
he's a tall man. He has his hair is like coiffed back in this like perfect slickness. No flyaways anywhere. It doesn't even look like it's gelled. It just looks like his hair is just naturally perfect. It's peppered, so it has like grays and like darker grays and blacks. His like he has like a trimmed kind of like fuller beard. It also is like a little bit peppered. Um, he's wearing his shirt buttoned to the very top. He doesn't have a tie. His like but his collar is buttoned. He's wearing a tie. His suit is like a really pretty like boysenberry color, like bright. And he has like gold buttons on them, and he has like little gold cufflinks. Very stylish. You notice that his eyes are like a kind of like a also pretty vibrant hazel. Instead of like hazel brown like Sophia's, it's more like a hazel green. And he does have like a little bit of a tan to him, but he's like you can tell he's like ethnically white. He just spends time in the sun. Um, and he has like a really he has like a really nice smile, and it comes off as very warm. And you see like it's like the kind of smile that's like wrinkles the side of his like eyes a little bit. He seems pretty like cheery. And he's like excited a little bit. He's like kind of like dancing a little bit. Not like dancing, but he's like kind of moving around, like excited to talk. To the right of him is Sophia, who again is like a sort of like smaller petite woman with like dark black hair and dark black eyebrows. She you notice that her dress is Merlot's. Um, she has like a white blouse underneath and kind of like a over top dress over it, like matching with Merlot's. Her heels also are like a really pretty purple color. Um, she's also very happy. You see, like her and Merlot are like chatting very like happily. They kind of like are tender with each other. Like they definitely know each other for. Um, on the left side is Killian, the big, even taller than Merlot, probably closer than like maybe like 6'6". Like he is really tall. He's wearing kind of like a black turtleneck, really nicely tucked into like a pair of gray pants. His hair is like that auburn orange color again, and he has a really nice full beard. Um, Luca, you also notice kind of like the scars on his face and his hands. To the right of Killian is Zaim, who is like a shorter man. Out of all of them, he's like just like an inch or two taller than Sophia. So he's like quite short compared to like Killian and too. Um, and he's like adjusting his glasses. He keeps like finicking with like his glasses and his shirt. To like try to see if that like, makes him look a little better, but he like always kind of looks the same because there's like not much to his style. It's shirt and pants. Um, like his pants are quite big again, like they like are rumpled at the top because his pants are just like way too big on him. Um, he seems more nervous than the other ones to introduce himself. Like he's gonna like somehow do it wrong or something, even though he's really just like saying his name and what he's doing. And Julian, you see like Merlot kind of like snaps at Julian, physically like snaps at Julian, and Julian like rolls his eyes and then gets to like the very left side or like right side, next to Sophia. Like very begrudgingly, like gets up and he's like, oh god, and then like stands up, moves to his place that seems like Julian has like planned what they're saying, um, or Merlot has like planned what they're saying, um, and he like, uh, he's like, welcome everybody to the Usher Foundation. My name is Merlot de la Cruz. I am the Institute head here at Usher. It is so exciting to finally see you all in person. I've read your files, I know your names, but I haven't seen you, so that's quite exciting. If you don't know, because I don't think you all quite do here, which is fine, that's totally okay, because not all of you are doing the same things technically, but we are a research institute that focuses on uh, researching the esoteric and paranormal. We want to see what the supernatural is doing and just research it, just check in, see how it's doing, make sure it's not getting too crazy. You know, you don't want crazy supernatural. That's crazy. um, uh, again, my name is Merlot. Um, this is my assistant Sophia. I already met her. She sort of brought you back down to your offices. I'm sorry about that before. Me and Kid had to talk about something very quickly. Um, but I'm happy that I can introduce myself to you all now. Um, this is Killian Murphy. He's our head librarian. Killian just sort of like gives like a little like a nod. He's like, "Oi, Killian, it's good to see you." Um, and then Lo points to the other side and is like, "That is Saim Khalid. He is our head of artifact storage. He is. He sort of looks at Luca and he's like, he's quite good at organizing things. I know it seems like, but everything is organized very well. He knows where everything always. So just trust the process. It'll be okay." And then he points to the end and he's like, "This is Julian. I know he doesn't seem quite friendly, but he is. He's quite nice. Just, keep an eye on him. He's all right. So I'm going to let you all use your very first roll. You each can pick one C and roll size someone up on them.
Okay, Luca 100% doesn't trust Killian just for reasons. So he is going to size this guy up, and that's who he's going to roll. That's a 5. That's a total of 6. So he did a really bad job.
Okay. Who does everyone else? You choose to roll for Killian again, but
Oh, wait.
talk to each other, then you guys kind of share the same information.
With my sharp bonus, it's a 8.
Okay, cool.
I want to roll for Julian.
Okay. Let me just write down everybody.
Dottie's like, what? Why is this man so upset? What can I do?
Okay. So you want to roll for Julian. Go ahead and roll.
That is a 5 with my sharp. Dottie is like, a 3?
What about Edith? What do you want to do?
I'm going to roll for Merlot because he is the boss. So. And that's a 9.
And then Nick, who would you like to roll for?
The only one left, Sophia.
Well, you can roll for Zaim if you want.
I really trust Saim. We can't.
I trust him.
We can trust him.
Watch Zaim.
No,
I mean, there's also like the failures too.
Zaim's the big villain. That's the twist.
Oh no, Luca already trusts Saim with his life.
His a big of secrets.
I know since Luca rolled such a bad roll for Killian, is that something that like I could try and roll better on, or am I going to notice that he did not roll as well or not get as much information?
I mean, you guys wouldn't notice what you're picking up on each other unless you explicitly talked to each other. Then you would have to roll again to check on them.
Because I trust Sophia. Like, I don't feel threatened by her. I trust her. She seems sweet. She gave me stickers. She seems kind.
Hold your roll. If you do want to roll for Killian, I'll let you hold your roll, and I'll let you go talk to Killian.
I don't want to do that like right away, but I'm just like I trust everyone else. So.
Yeah. If you don't want to roll, if you feel like you don't like, there's no one you want to roll for, that's fine too.
No, I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna do it for Sophia.
Okay.
And that's a 7
Cool.
plus nothing.
Cool. So, Dottie thinks that Julian hates her. He is specifically hates Dottie.
Oh no.
Dottie's looking over at Julian like a kicked puppy. She's like, I did something wrong. I don't know what it is, but I will fix it.
Yeah, so he's like, you think this, but he's actually like not looking at you at all. Like he's just kind of like looking. He actually doesn't quite look angry right now as he usually did. He looks like a little bit more at peace next to his coworkers and stuff, like his other coworkers, not around you guys, but around these guys, yeah. And he's just like, looking at them and their like little introduction and things like that. He's not really like looking at you guys. But you took this and you were like, he's not looking at me because he hates me.
Like he can't even stand to look at me.
Um, yeah. Um, Cassius looks at Sophia, and she is chipper, but you notice that more than her other peers, she seems to be quite enamored with Merlot.
Alrighty.
Um, I can't believe the highest roll is 8.
Look, shush.
um,
Wait,
no.
I got a 9.
Yeah.
okay. I don't know why my not. I looked. It was like the higher roll here is an 8.
You know what? I do that all
We
the
love to
time.
see it.
It's based off of vibes. Like 8 has more.
8
Eight.
just
It
seems higher.
has a good vibe.
It just feels stronger, you know?
Yeah, there's 2 loops in 8. There's only 1 loop in 9, so
Exactly.
that's actually what my brain thought. I'm being totally honest.
I love that for you.
You look at, or Luke looks at Killian, and you see that he has like his arms crossed. He's like a very like imposing person. He's much taller than you. He's like much taller than Cassius, and Cassius is already taller than you.
Everyone's taller than Luca, though.
Most people are also taller than Luca, but he's like incredibly like a lot taller than you. So you kind of notice that despite how like imposing and kind of scary he looks with like all the scars and like this big beard and his hair like slicked back really well, and despite that, with your sort of back, your kind of like immediate distrust of somebody who is quite obviously Irish, he actually seems, oh, it's flight. He seems very trusting. And like he seems out of sort of the 5 people in front of you, he seems like the protector of the group. Um,
Interesting.
and Edith is looking at Merlot right now, and you get like a good read on Merlot. He is genuinely like excited. He's not like putting on like a facade of like excitement or like trying to seem like he actually cares about his job. He actually does care about his job and cares about like his peers that he's working with. Um, you also kind of notice back, you realize that these people are quite well. This is definitely not their first time with each other. That they have worked with each other previously. You don't know if it's like were hired because Merlot knew them from the past, but you can kind of gauge that wherever they were hired from, they all worked together. Like they all know each other. It's not like Merlot knows all of them. They all know each other as a group. Um, you also notice that there's like a little bit of a crack on Merlot's watch, like it's broken. Um, but you saw him read the time earlier, and he was able to perfectly tell the time.
Okay, so like it's not even like ticking. It's just like totally broken.
It completely broken, yeah. So what would you like to do now? I mean, essentially, it was the staff meeting, an introduction. Um, Merlot does approach Edith at the end, and is like, as the financial manager, it is your job to organize banquets and things for um, the potential investors here. We've just opened, and we definitely need money. It is the institute has helped as much as they can. We cannot deplete the Magnus Institute's budget on us. We're making our own money, so I'm going to leave some information on your desk. Actually, Sophia probably already put it on your desk. But it's just a couple of little things, some names, some here that you can look at. If you could just get started on that, that would be perfect. Uh, sound good?
Okay. Sounds perfect. I'll go do that now.
Okay.
And she
See
walks
that
over.
he like puts like a little hand on your shoulder. Like he doesn't want to like make you uncomfortable, but he does want to like know that like he sort of cares about you. Like he cares about his employees. He puts a little hand on your shoulder. He gives like a very like sincere thank you.
She just nods, and then heads up.
A gala? A banquet, you say? A fancy event?
Honestly, Dottie's probably better at this than Edith, so she might ask for some help.
Cool. Where are the rest of you three heading off to right now?
I feel like Luca, considering he's only gone to the basement and the first floor, he's gonna like try to look around and just get acquainted with the building.
Yeah, you can go up and down the stairs. There's not really any. They're still kind of gathered in the lobby, chatting. So there's not really anyone up there, but you do like take a look at all the floors. You know where everything is now. Um, Nothing like outstanding kind of. I mean, you're really just kind of exploring the building.
Yeah, that's essentially it. When he comes back downstairs, I feel like he's going to try to introduce himself more with the other people, considering he hasn't really gotten a chance to meet anyone.
So Cash, like everybody, like Cassius and Dottie, and also
Yeah.
work there. Um, yeah, they're kind of like all engrossed in their own little chat. You can certainly interrupt if you want and talk to them. Um, but like, besides like Cassius and Dottie are kind of just like chatting, except for Julian, who's work at his desk. If you want to talk to Julian.
Here, yeah, Luca will go try to talk to Julian. He probably feels a little bad about being sick earlier.
He doing his work. He's just kind of like writing things.
I just felt like I should apologize for my attitude earlier. Wasn't really a great way to start a career.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Great. Is there anything I can do?
You work in artifact storage, right?
Yeah.
Did you organize anything yet?
Yeah. Diane had me organize some things down there.
Did you find a little hand mirror by chance?
I'm not 100% sure. Is there something more detailed you can give me?
It's just a little hand mirror. I'll check it out later. Don't worry about it.
I mean, if you need it, I can go try to see if I can find it.
Uh, uh, no. That's fine. I'll see.
Okay. Well, need any help? Don't be afraid to ask.
Sure.
Luca walks away from that and he's gonna just kind of stand there awkwardly for a minute.
What are Cassius and Dottie doing right now?
Cassius definitely just after the whole announcement, he sits on the couch. He's like, I still don't know what the damn I'm doing in here. Like, cool, I know who I work for, but I know I'm doing research. I mean, Sophia did tell me earlier. She'll have to explain it again. I'm still very confused. Dottie, did you get any of that? Like,
I mean, some of it, like, I get the gist. Like, I don't think I have a specific. They didn't tell us anything specific to do. Like, I didn't miss something, right? Like, you also didn't get anything from that.
cool. So we're both just lost, which is totally fine.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's kind of like right now, it's like that was a staff meeting, but now we're just kind of mingling, which is kind of like a party. So you just kind of mingle.
As you're kind of sitting there having this conversation, Julian approaches you three with a young woman kind of following around behind him. She's like pretty young, like college, like probably like fresh out of university age, like 22, 23-ish. She like has like really vibrant like blonde hair and like really pretty blue eyes. And she's like has like a blouse and pants and like these like flats that were kind of like typical of like casual wear in the 50s. And Julian approaches you two and says, she wants to take down a statement.
Cassius just gets up and he's like, he's like that whole thing where like they go like, all right, and then they just like stand up and they're like, all right, let's go. Do you want to do your statement here? Do you want to go? I have an office apparently, so that's pretty cool. So we can go there. We got a library. Where do you feel most comfortable?
We have a basement.
Dottie, I don't think she's gonna feel comfortable in the basement.
You don't know her.
Okay, miss, do you want to go to the basement and talk about spooky stuff? I'm assuming you're here to talk about?
She kind of just like looks towards Julian. And Julian kind of like leans in a little bit closer to you two, and he's like, you guys just go in the office, grab an empty file, and write down what she says. That's all you gotta do.
Cassius, under his breath, is just like, don't tell me what to do.
Would you have known what to do if I didn't?
You weren't supposed to hear that, my dude. He just takes the folder from his hand. He's like, all right, let's go.
Yeah, and Julian kind of like makes a motion telling her to follow you guys. She follows you up to whose office do you want to go to? You both can be in the room unless one of you wants to do it on your own.
I think we do it together for sure, and we should go to my office because it's not a mess. We all have seen Dottie's office.
Yeah.
And I open the door and I ask her to take a seat.
So your offices have like a little like nice couch chair in there for like givers to sit in. And you see in the shelves there are like files, but they're empty, so they don't have like labels or anything like that. It's like empty files for you to like take and fill out. So you grab a file. Who wants to actually take down the statement?
I can probably ask questions just because I'm personable.
Yeah, and I'll write.
Out of character, half out of character. Dottie could ask questions and prompt things if you want to write down.
Amazing teamwork.
Cool. So she sits down. She seems very nervous. Like her legs are crossed. She has like hands kind of like on her, like resting on her stomach. Um, she's like pretty like thin and small too, so it kind of just like accentuates how like anxious she is, and how kind of like meek she is. Um, but she sits and she's like, what am I supposed to do?
Um, well, first off, my name's Dottie. That's Cassius. So you're here because you want to tell us something that happened to you, right?
Right. My name is Madeline Beck, and I suppose I'm going to tell you about my experience at my new job, the Primrose Boutique. Um, so this is like my first real job position. Like I worked kind of part time before when I was in school. And I kind of worked between classes, like doing little things like sold makeup and um, jewelry and things like that. I live with my fiance now. She holds out her ring. Um, and
Dottie goes like, "Ooh," she makes like,
um, yeah, it's a nice, like very simple, just like diamond ring. Um, she's like, I a full time job because I didn't want to, rely on him for money. And he's a lawyer, so he's gone all the time. During the day, and I didn't want to spend the day on my own. Like, what else am I gonna do? I don't have, kids, and I don't have many friends in the neighborhood, and I stay home and cook and do things like that. Like, I have better things to do. I can get a job, Um, that that's not really that's not the important part. I started working at Primrose about 4 months ago, and at first it was fine. It was more than fine, really. It was great. I really enjoyed interacting with the people, and I enjoy fashion. So it's fun. I um, The weird stuff didn't really start happening until um, maybe 2 months ago. Um, one of the other women I worked with, she went on maternity leave. So they needed someone to close the store. She usually closed the store. So my boss asked me, we don't close super late. We close around 5. So I was like, sure, I'll close the store. It's not a big deal. And, Bobby, my fiance, he started working a little bit later on. He's working on a big case or whatever. So I was like, why the heck not? I'll close the store. I'm not going to spend time on my own. Um, so, I've been doing that, locking up the counters, cleaning up the floors. um, Originally, I didn't do this, but now I I count the mannequins. Um, there there should only be 14, 2 by each counter and 6 next to the checkout. So there are 4 counters. 2 by 4 is 8, plus 6 is 14. I know there are 14. I'm not crazy, but please don't say I'm crazy. I love my husband, but I don't think I can handle another person not believing me. So just let me keep telling the story. There are 14 mannequins. I'm sure of it. But sometimes there's an extra behind the counter. It's always behind the checkout counter, just watching me as I count the money and sweep the floors and lock the counters. was just watching. The first time this happened, I didn't think it was weird. I thought maybe the mannequin was there the whole time and I just didn't notice it. But then there was not an extra mannequin. I thought, fine, maybe we threw him out and this was just like a replacement mannequin. Fine. But then every few days, there would just be an extra mannequin until I finally told my manager about it. She said, there are no extras, there never has been, and I can count them every night. There will only be 14. So I counted, and for a while, there was only 14. And then one night, I counted one. So when I went in the next day, I said, there's an extra mannequin. I counted 15 mannequins. She said that was impossible. My mind must have just been playing tricks on me because I was so scared that there was other mannequins there. But I thought, fine, whatever. The next time I'll prove it was real. Whether it was just to myself, I will prove it was real. And the next time I saw it, I took the arm off. And it was a real mannequin. I was going to take the arm with me too, show it to my boss. There was an extra mannequin. I have the arm. But then I heard something crash in the back room and I got scared and I just dropped it and ran. So I decided I need to prove the mannequin is there. So I brought my fiance's portable camera with me the next day and I just sort of kept it out my counter until I could finally get a picture of the mannequin. My manager says that I'm taking this prank too far. It's not a joke. And you see that she frantically pulls out like a photograph from her pocket that does show like it's like a mannequin in the picture behind the checkout. And she points to it and she's like, look, it's wearing men's clothes. We don't even sell men's clothes. I saw it again yesterday, so I decided to carve a little X into it. And then if I saw a mannequin with an X in it, then I could show that that was an extra mannequin, that mannequin should be here. I swear, it started bleeding. Bleeding and started dripping onto the floor. But when I went in today, mannequins had the mark and the floor where the blood had been just completely clean. It, whatever it is, hasn't hurt me yet. But I'm not willing to wait until it does. And she like pulls out like a crumpled flyer. And she was like, I saw this posted on our storefront, the Usher Foundation. You guys investigate creepy stuff like this, right? You can help me.
You said you said earlier that your husband, fiance, was working on a case. What does your fiance do for work?
He's a lawyer.
Okay. I was just wondering because I thought, have you tried going to other authorities about this first?
Well, my boss believed me. I didn't figure the cops would believe me either. My husband's a lawyer. He works with the cops. He said that he told his friends about it and they got a good laugh out of it. So it's just seemed like this was the better option.
Yeah. I understand. I totally understand. And you're not crazy. I don't think you're crazy. And I'm glad that you came here to talk to us. But if something's in the back making noises, you might be in danger here.
Well, that's why I came to you guys. You guys can investigate like this, right? That's how that works.
You know how you said that you're new to work?
Me?
Yeah.
She said she worked there for 4 months. I don't think she's new anymore.
Yeah. Well, if you were, that would be like, this is a,
Dottie,
You're
it's not a
act-
haze.
you're actually our first statement.
Oh, what? I'm sure you'll figure something out, right?
I mean, maybe we can close the shop with you one night and we can be an extra pair of eyes to prove that there is this extra mannequin. I'm sure I'm happy to help do that.
I mean, if that counts as, it does count as research, like field research. So I guess that's technically in our job description. I mean, if you want us to go and do that, we can absolutely do that. Is it possible someone's like playing a prank on you? I mean, it's a weird joke. Like, it's a really weird joke. I wouldn't immediately go with blood mannequin if I were, joking around.
Did you maybe piss someone off?
Not, not that I know of. I mean, I really only have my university friends, my husband, my work friends. I don't think I've made anyone upset.
Okay. You said that there was a sound coming from the back. Had you checked that space at all?
Yeah, the next day I went in and it wasn't anything there besides this old painting that we kind of keep there and a couple, our boxes and things like that.
Why do you have an old painting?
Oh, we have a couple decorations that we keep back there. So there's a few different paintings back there, but they're all out right now. So that one's the only one we have back there right now. Depends on the season.
When this mannequin, you say it wears men's clothes, did you see the men's clothes afterwards at all? Do you recognize the clothes?
They just look like usual men's wear, I suppose. Uh, she pulls out the picture, and she like gives it to you, so you can like see the picture. And it's just like it's a white mannequin wearing like a pair of green trousers with like a white shirt. Very like like typical 50s clothing. It's like nothing. There's like nothing outstanding on the outfit. Um, she was like, I didn't see any discarded clothes or anything like that in the back room or in any other rooms or anything like that. So I don't know where it could have gone. I haven't seen the mannequin. I guess wherever the mannequin is, the clothes are, I suppose.
I'm gonna take the photograph. Can I roll to investigate? See if I notice anything else that she may have flipped over?
Yeah, you can roll investigate a mystery.
That is only a 6.
You don't really know anything different than what she's pointed out. You can't tell that what she described is like the truth. Like it is a mannequin behind a checkout counter wearing men's clothes. Um, it though.
All right, I'm gonna take the photo from Dottie's hand and say, like, let me take a look at it, a closer look. And I investigate that photo. Haha, for a 4. Plus, doesn't matter.
You, yeah, you kind of see the same thing.
There's just like a smudges all over my glasses. I'm like, wait a minute.
You put a huge grease smudge from your finger on the photograph and ruin it. No, I'm kidding. That's disgusting. No, you tell anything. If anything, like it's actually like a little too dark for you to see. You can't quite make out the outfit. Besides, like it's like a white shirt and some colored trousers, but you can't quite see like.
That's right. I forgot to tell everybody I'm colorblind. Just kidding.
In a black and white photo. Oh wait a minute, in black and white you guys can't see the colors.
Like,
That's right.
based on the shade that it's showing up in the black and white,
That's definitely green.
that's olive.
That's sea foam right there.
Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah, that's a mean hit.
All right. Well, I mean, if there's not any more, you can tell us. We are more than happy. I'm more than happy to maybe stake out the night with you, stake out the shop. You know, check it out. Maybe we can catch the mannequin. I don't know. I looks at Dottie. I'm like, catch the mannequin. I don't know.
Dottie nods like vigorously. She's like, "Yeah, catch the mannequin."
Cool. So you guys sort of make a little like some plans to like meet up. The next like tomorrow, she'll be closing. So you guys plan to meet tomorrow around like 4:45. So because she's at 5. And you all kind of go about the rest of your day. There's really not much to do. Luca, you keep sort of organizing things and chatting a little bit with Zaim. Same, it's really kind of like the same type of conversation. Um, Edith, you're busy, making phone calls and things like that, planning. You at the banquet hall that he wants you to, that Merlot wants you to use. It's called the Astor Ballroom and Banquet Hall. And the owner is named Luis Turletta. So you try to.
Can you spell the last name?
Yeah, Terlett.
Thank you.
Yeah, totally. You try to call, and he doesn't. There's no answer, but you do leave like a voicemail. I guess whatever I don't know what they have in the 50s.
I'll try to get back to him.
Call him later, I guess.
Could I, if I have time, go to the archives and see if I can like look at some little statements and see if I can connect anything that sounds familiar to what Madeline told us?
Yeah.
Cool. Just like an investigation roll for that?
Yeah, just investigate a mystery.
That is a 10 with my +2 sharp.
You find a couple files. You're in there for quite a long time. By the time that you find these files, it's already like the end of the day. Edith and Luca have gone home at that point. I don't know if Cassius might still be there, like waiting for you. But like Sophia has kind of gone home. Zaim and Killian have also gone home. Julian has definitely gone home. He like left
Quiller's
early,
like out of here
actually.
right on the dot.
So it's just kind of like you and maybe Cassius, and Merlot is also still in the building. Like you kind of, um, well, I'll tell you what you find first. So you're like in there that whole time, and by the end of the day, it's like not too. It's like 5:30 ish. So it's like a little bit after. You find a couple statements that do have to do with mannequins. Um, and also, there are like little notes in there that say that there should be some mannequins in artifact storage, but there's like another note that says not in Usher. As in like they like moved it to somewhere else. Not like they're lost. They just like aren't not in the Usher Foundation. They might be like Magnus Institute or something.
Okay.
But they are like kind of a similar story, that there was like a mannequin and it was causing some like strange things. There's like one story where somebody said that like a mannequin was like following them home, kind of. That like they kind of just spotted it in different places where they were. Um, there was one person who kind of like is demanding that somebody kind of like believe them, that they saw a human turn into a mannequin, like to go from like a regular like pale human skin to like a pure white, like faceless mannequin. um so there's like that similarity, but there's nothing like exactly the same to what she was doing in that way.
Do I see if any of them have any sort of like follow-up that's been done? Like any sort of resolution at all? Or like check back in, or like this person's dead now?
You see that the one where the person was followed, there is a little note that says like deceased, 1945. Um, it says like assault and battery on it. Um, Details of the case. It just says like was assaulted, had like extreme injuries, and passed away sadly.
Okay.
But the other ones don't have a date or anything like that. But there's also not much follow up. It's just kind of like notes being like, yeah, this was weird. We couldn't really see what was happening.
Okay, cool. I will put those back, and jot down a few notes that I grabbed in a little journal.
Is Cassius still with Dottie? So it's like a little now, 5:45 ish. You two are overtime, and you know that Merlot is also in the building. Everybody else has gone home.
Yeah, I'm with Dottie.
Okay. So you two head back down to your office, and both of doors. So you finally like look into the office, and you see there's one door that leads to like a small room with a little desk that's very obviously like Sophia's office. And then there's like another door behind it where you see like a very big desk with like a ton of like books behind it. And you hear like a very gentle piano playing, coming from inside the office.
Well, that sounds very nice.
Does it sound like it's being played within, or does it sound like it has like a record crackle?
No, like somebody's playing the piano.
Yeah.
Cassius walks into the room.
You see Merlot playing the piano. His eyes are closed. Like he's like really like in touch with the music. And he's playing it very gently. He's very good at the piano. It's not like a piece you recognize, either because it's like a very unique piece, or it's something that he's making up as he's going. You don't.
Cassius does a small like knock on the door, and he's like, "Hey."
He like stops. He looks at you and he was like, Cassius. How was your very first statement?
Interesting. She says something about an extra mannequin at her job. She says there's 14, but some nights there's 15. Weird thing though, she cut it one night, like marked an X in it to just clarify what mannequin it is and check it the next day, and it started bleeding, which is weird.
Strange indeed.
Something you're familiar with, maybe?
Mannequins. I'm sure we have a couple of statements with mannequins. I never really did statements or things like that. You both were up there for quite a long time, so if you haven't found one by now, I don't think you're going to find them. But if you have, they might be helpful. It's difficult to say what is helpful in archives, honestly.
I mean, we kind of told her that we would meet up with her tomorrow. I don't know if we can do that. I don't know if that breaches some kind of, you know how they say doctor patient cannot confidentiality. Yeah.
Dottie pops in from the hallway to say confidentiality.
He's just so
and
nervous.
Dottie say confidentiality at the same time.
All right, I get it. You guys.
Dottie goes,
He's just like, yeah, that. So I guess we're doing that. I don't think it's against the rules, so she'll have 2 different pairs of eyes to maybe see if it's actually a thing.
No, you are welcome to go investigate this little supernatural occurrence, I suppose. Proof that it's supernatural. See what's going on.
Have you heard of the Primrose Boutique by any chance? Maybe you brought your wife there for some clothes?
No, I'm not married.
We love the details.
Do you want to roll to see if you can tell what he's like thinking? Says that?
Oh my god, I'm just making sure I click the right buttons. Yeah, I'm gonna size up that situation.
Okay.
Oh, I got a 6. Dottie, size it up for me. Tag team with me.
Dottie in the hallway. She had just poked her head in. Well, I think she hears this from the hallway, and she's like, she'll kind of like wander in a little bit and try to size up the situation. I think she's half like, did Cassius just ask did he just really do that? Like for real? But gauge the response. That is an 11.
You can tell when he says that he looks like a little sad. And he kind of like strokes the piano a little bit, like kind of but like in thought, like he's thinking about the piano, but like his thoughts. Like,
Married to the piano is what you're telling me. What was I gonna say? You do notice though on like shelves, because you're kind of like in the hallway, so you can look kind of like directly behind his desk. You notice there's like a picture of him, and like another man, and they seem to be like very tender with each other. I think Dottie kind of nods. She's like, not married. She kind of like look at his hands on the piano to see if there's like an engagement ring.
He doesn't have any rings on.
Cool. Dottie like looks over at Cassius and then kind of like glances to the bookshelf and then looks back.
Cassius looks over and he's like, "Oh," and he's like, "Nice." And he looks at Dottie. He's like,
Yeah, Dottie gives you a little wink.
He sees you two looking and like slams the piano down, but not like that angry, just to like get your attention. He like slams it down. He still has like his like usual smile, and he's like, "Well, it's quite late for everyone here. I will go home. Don't you think?"
"Yeah, I gotta feed my cat. I think it's
cat.
time." Actually, I do, and then I take out. Let's say I have my satchel on me because I was like, "Oh, it's almost time to go," and I'm like, I pull out the second picture of Barry that I have, and I'm like, "This is my cat. His name is Blackberry, Barry for short. He might not let you call you Barry until he gets to know you a little better, but this is him."
Yeah. So he's like kind of like cooing over it. He seems like he enjoys cats and animals and things like that. He like kind of leads you guys out of the usher station. He's like locking doors behind him, making sure everything's closed, all the lights are off, and things like that. And he locks the door to the Usher Foundation. He says, "Very lovely meeting you all. I hope that your research goes well tomorrow. Um, feel free to let me help with anything. I am always here if you need me." He catches like a cab and goes off.
And as he's like, "I appreciate that."
Dottie immediately turns to him and is like, I cannot believe you asked him that. I mean, first off, you asked if he had a wife, which like,
He's a good-looking man. First off, you can't wrong me in thinking that he was married. Secondly, I was more wondering, I don't know what he didn't even answer if he knew the shop. So that was my initial question. I did not get an answer, but we did get a quite interesting answer indeed of another question.
we didn't even get an answer. I just looked at his bookshelf.
We got answers. Just because the method we got the answer is not traditional, it's fine. It's fine. I don't know if we should ever bring it up until he does, but
Okay.